In this video, we're looking at volume of prisms and cylinders. So the volume of a solid is the amount of space it occupies. And we use cubic units to represent volume, such as meters cubed, centimeters cubed, millimeters cubed, etc. Now, there is a kind of rough formula for finding the volume of a prism. And as you can see there, it's the area of the front face multiplied by the depth. Now this does vary a little bit, as long as you're finding an area of a face and essentially telling you how far it goes back. So in this case, the area is that front face there that I will shade in here. Alright, so you would find this area, and then you would multiply it by how far, or the depth that it goes backwards. Yep, but into the foreground there. So, knowing that, again, it's just the area of the front face multiplied by the depth. Now, the volume of a cylinder, it's pi r squared h, but it's kind of the exact same thing as the prism. Essentially, you're finding the area for this shape up here, this circle, and then you're multiplying it by how far down it goes here, that height, so from here to here. Alright, so the same kind of thing. Now, again, r is the radius, and h is the perpendicular height in this case. Now, another thing that sometimes can get people confused with is when we talk about capacity against volume. Now, capacity and volume are two different things. Volume is the units such as, like I said, meters cubed, centimeters cubed, whereas capacity is the amount of liquid that this shape or this container can hold. Now, that's given in milliliters, liters, kiloliters, megaliters, etc. Now, you can convert between the two. Now, 1 centimeter cubed is the same as having 1 milliliter, and 1 meter cubed is the same as having 1,000 liters or a kiloliter. Alright, so calculate the volume of the solid. So here we have a shape here. Now, what I would be doing is I would be finding, I'll just do a different color here, the area of my triangular face, and then multiplying it by how far it goes down. That's the simplest way there. So, to start with, I'm going to write down my area. Let me zoom in a bit so I can write a bit neater. Area for my face. Now remember, the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. So half the base times the height. So in this case, it's going to be a half times 1.8 times 2.4. And that gets us 2.16. We don't have any units there, so I'm going to write units squared. Alright. The next thing we need to do is we need to multiply that by the depth. So our volume is going to be the area times depth, or in this case height. You could refer to it as height. So here we're going to have our 2.16 multiplied by 4.5. And that comes out as 9.72 units cubed. Remember, volume is in units cubed. Now, we'll go down to the next one here. We have somewhat of a cylinder. So we're going to find the same way. We're going to find the area for my front face here. Now, the area for that, it's a semicircle. So it's going to be half the area of a normal circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. So if I'm trying to find the area for a semicircle, it's going to be half of that. So it's going to be a half times pi times 10, because remember we're after the radius, which is 10 squared, and that comes out as 157.08 units squared. Now we can go on and do our depth. So area equals, volume, not area. We've already found our area. Volume equals area times depth. So in this case, our depth is this 32 here. So 157.08 times 32. And that comes out as 5,026.55 units cubed. Alright, so again, you're finding the area for one of the faces, and then multiplying it by how far it goes back. When you're dealing with cylinders, sometimes you'll get answers with lots of decimals for your area. It's important to remember on your calculator that you do have this button here, and it'll carry over all your decimals, so you're not going to make a rounding error. So that's very important to use. The answer button is your friend, and it's a good habit to get used to using it now.